Yeah, after seeing you, it's come back now. Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Bijal, I feel that we can start. I will. Oh, okay, it's recording.
Can we start? District 20 Club. Just a second. Can you hear me? Okay. District 20 Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah, Area 34 Director, DDM Zara Al-Morak, Champion DDM Faraz Farouk, leaders, fellow Toastmasters, and most importantly, our lovely students. A very warm welcome to each one of you. Let us share the benefits we have gained for ourselves with others, said Dr. Alcy Smedley, the founder of Toastmasters International. And today we are celebrating his 143rd birthday. Yay! Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that empowers people to become effective communicators and leaders. Nothing will improve your presentation skills more than straight up by practice. Engaging in public speaking opportunities whenever you can will give you an increased command over your delivery. Now, let me tell you, at a Toastmasters Club, it is an organization designed to help individuals become better communicators through leadership training and public speaking practice. It gives you an opportunity to practice your public speaking skills regularly in a safe and supportive environment. Now, let me tell you 5 important reasons why you should join a Toastmasters Club. Number 1 is to combat fear. Yes, we all have fear of public speaking. Now, nothing crushes this fear more than confronting it. And one of the biggest advantages of joining a Toastmasters Club is that it can significantly reduce your fear of public speaking. You can ultimately eliminate them together by allowing you to present repeatedly by practice. And after a few meetings, speaking will feel much more relaxed. Number 2, build confidence. Now, attending Toastmasters meetings and rehearsing your presentation skills frequently will give you more confidence in your abilities as you learn how capable you are. Number 3, sharpen your leadership skills. Now, whether you are a CEO of a major company or you are an entry-level intern or a student, leadership skills are paramount to elevating your career. In addition to helping you lead more confidently and fearlessly, Toastmasters also allows presenters to take on various leadership roles. Number 4 is improve improvisation. No matter how thoroughly you rehearse, it's nearly inevitable that you'll stumble upon at least once comment or topic from the audience that you weren't ready for. So giving your speeches and attempting table topics will increase your ability to think on your feet. And finally, expand your network. Now, Toastmasters International is a non-profit organization with almost 16,800 clubs in 143 countries and having more than 350,000 members worldwide. It gives you opportunity to the members to grow and learn. And especially in this virtual setup, you can connect with anywhere and everyone across the globe. So it's dominated by intelligent, educated people looking to improve themselves and advance their careers. That means that you will be exposed to a diverse group of people eager to share insights. You will make connections to expand your network to helpful people and resources. Now, without further ado, let me call upon a versatile leader. What do I say about him? He is the powerhouse of District 20, a member of 4 clubs: Babco Toastmasters Club, Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club, St. Paul's Toastmasters Club, and Active Mind Toastmasters Club. He is also the coach for Active Mind Toastmasters Club in Kuwait, and his purpose in life is to lead his kids by a good example of a father to be followed, and that's the reason he is in Toastmasters. So let's welcome our District 20 Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah.
Wow, what an energetic start. Toastmaster Bijal, well done for that. Area 35 Director, DTM, Zahra Al-Mukharrag. CGD Coordinator, Toastmaster Bijal. CGD Club Quality Chair, DTM Farhaz Farouk. All of the champions here, I can see champions of table topics, champions of humorous, champions of international, wow. And the students, I call you our customers for today. Good evening to one and all. Among all of what Toastmaster Bijal said, I was waiting for that single word. She embedded that in whatever she said. But if I want to tell you something about Toastmasters, one word: support. Let me give you my own story. Let me take you back to my humble beginning. When I started back, well, before my humble beginning, I was just like you, a student in Bahrain University at that beginning. And I had one of my colleagues says, Khalid, why don't you join Toastmasters? I said, okay, well, what is Toastmasters? And he started, of course, the Toastmaster campaign, just like what we are doing right now for you now. I was not really convinced. I was having so many things running in my mind. At the same time, I was also given an opportunity to study in Saudi. So that could not really make it for me. A few years later, while I was coming with my colleagues in Babco from the cafeteria, someone was there accompanying me. He said, Khalid, why don't you join Toastmasters? And of course, I started to resist until I said, well, okay, let me just go there and try it out. One meeting, the first meeting I attended, I don't know who told the president that I'm there among all of the audience there. So the president called me and he said, could you please introduce yourself? I don't know what I said until today. I don't remember if I said my name even, but I said what I said and I sat down. And that moment, I felt the limitation that I have. Yes, I've been into university, I have a master's degree, but that thing, which I don't even know what was by then, stopped me from speaking. Few meetings after that, I got into the Toastmasters. And thanks to the mentor, one of my, well, the first mentor of mine, DTM Walid, I resisted as well at the beginning to take the first step into the so-called icebreaker, which is the first speech that you give in a club. And I was called the table topics. Yes, I can see Toastmaster now. Tabassum's looking at me. But very long time ago. I've been there. I had that experience. And I was so lousy, to be very frank with you. I was so lousy. I went back home and my mentor called me and he said, Khalid, perfect, well done. I said, okay. He says, what is next? I said, okay, what is next? I know what you're talking about, my mentor. I will prepare for my icebreaker. one speech after the other. And on that same stage of Babco Toastmaster Club. Now, the most prestigious title that you can get out of Toastmasters is called Distinguished Toastmaster, which is sometimes you can see behind, in front of our names, DTM. That day, I gave my DTM speech. And I remember the same mentor who was with me there for the first table topics and all throughout my speeches. He came there and he left my hand as if I was winning. That night, I felt I'm there. I'm in the cloud. No one can touch me. The same night, my mentor called me and he said, Khalid, well done. I'm so proud of you. What is next? I was shocked. Well, this is Distinguished Toastmasters. This is the end. But that question kept on coming to me for each and every thing that I take, responsibility that I take. I took area director, division director roles, and now so-called club growth director. I know you might not be able now to comprehend what I'm telling you. But all of those leadership roles that I've been taking because of that question, because of the support that I've been having in the club and outside the club. Where would you have such an environment where everyone wants you to succeed? Where would you have that support from anyone around you? So my question to you, you are here today. You are one step to completely different world. My question to you, what is next? Over to you, Master Hussein.
Thank you, DDM Khalid, for those motivational words for our students. Now, let's call upon an area director, Area 35 director, who is amongst us. She has been a Toastmaster since 2014, and she loves public speaking and has won at club, area, division level awards in evaluation, international, and numerous speech contests. In fact, she is the one who has put all the efforts to bring us together today evening. Currently, she is the Area 35 Director, Head of Marketing for DTAC 2021. DTAC is the annual conference, District Annual Conference 2021. She is the Head of Marketing, and she is the VPPR for Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. Please put your hands together to welcome DTM Zahra Al Muharrak. DTM Zahra, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you so much, Bijal. ألن بيجل خالد وفاء أريج فرحاز تبسم ناصر علي يوسف لميس محمد Ruba Rayan, and of course Toastmaster Ramesh. Friends, brothers and sisters, good evening to you all. Each step we take, it brings us to new horizon. When DTM Khalid was talking, I felt like what is in my mind, he just said it. But yes, I have to say it again. So every single step we take in our life brings us to a new opportunity. But in Toastmasters, the opportunities that you will take, or let's say the challenges that you will take, it will open new horizon for you. A few years back, I joined Toastmasters organization. And on the day of the event, it was a very big event. We call it a contest, where we, as a contestant, we compete to achieve the best from the awards for the public. I saw the area director, and I was talking to her, and she was a DTM, a distinguished Toastmaster. If you are a junior in Toastmaster, you will look at them as, oh my God, the big achievement that you can achieve. and they achieved it. So a distinguished Toastmaster, and she was a distinguished Toastmaster. And I told her, how can I achieve this award or position? And she looked at me and told me, you will be able to make it very soon. You can start with president. Start with the president? No way. I can't. Me, president, can't make it. And she looked at me and told me, you will be able to make it. And I can say today that I made it twice. And now I'm the area director for a group of clubs. So nothing is impossible. And what's so special about Toastmasters that all the mistakes that you will make, it will teach you. And there's nothing that you will fail on it, or you will get, you might be disqualified. So all the opportunities are there for you to learn from it. And the challenges that you will face will make you grow and will open new opportunities for you. So fellow Toastmasters, brothers and sisters, the opportunity is yours. Back to you, Toastmaster Bijal.
Thank you, DTM Zara. Yes, indeed, Toastmasters is a platform where we are constantly learning each and every day. Now, time is the wisest counselor of all, and today we have our timer amongst us, again, DTM Zahra. So I'll request DTM Zahra to brief about the timing criteria.
Sure. We as professional leaders and communicators in the public speaking field, we have to be aware of the time. You have to speak within a specific period of time, or else you will be disqualified. So today we have our special presenter for a special workshop, Master Your Presentation Skills. This presentation will be presented by our special guest, DTM Farhad. And as I managed with him, we do have 35 minutes. So DTM Farhad, I will raise the green color. If you reach the 25, then 30, then 35. Now we do have as well a speaker who is our special guest as well, Toastmaster Arij. She will deliver a speech, and this speech is, the time allocated for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. So for the 5 minutes, I will raise the green color. For the 6 minutes, and of course the 7 minutes. Now, also we do have an evaluator who will evaluate the speech delivered by Toastmaster Arij. He's Toastmaster Ellen. And for 2 minutes, 2.5 and 3, 2 minutes, 2.5 and 3 minutes. So that's all from my side as a timer, and I'm sure all the speakers are professional and they will be qualified. Back to you, Toastmaster Bijal.
Thank you, DTM Zara, for briefing us on the timing criteria. Now, can any one of you tell me what are the attributes required to give an outstanding presentation? Well, there are a lot of aspects, but the one and the most important thing you need is confidence. Confidence is critical to giving a killer presentation, and without it, you will not only make your audience uncomfortable by appearing nervous and unsettled, you won't be able to focus on an excellent delivery. Now, today we have amongst us a distinguished Toastmaster who will brief you on how to master your presentation skills. He is a chartered accountant by profession and a public speaker by preference. He is a member of, let's not count, he's a member of so many clubs in District 20 and 82. He is a speech contest winner in all categories and at all levels, area, division, district levels, in international, humorous, table topics, evaluation, all the categories. He's a champion. He enjoys being a mentor and coach for aspiring public speakers, and his aim in life is to leave behind useful knowledge that could benefit humanity and himself for eternity. Let us put our hands together to welcome our presenter for today's session, distinguished Toastmaster Farhaz Farooq.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. CGD, Madam Area Director, members of the district leadership, club division leadership, area leadership, leadership at home, leadership at school, leadership in the local market, all the leaders. Good evening to everybody and welcome. I will, over the next 35 minutes, quickly run through a presentation about presentations. This is what this is all about. It's a presentation about presentations. And over the next 35 minutes, probably end of the 35 minutes, what I would aim to leave each of you with is a few ideas on what we should be doing in order to make a very effective, a good presentation, and more importantly, what we shouldn't be doing if we are to make our presentation presentable. So let's start off and play with me, just go with me on the next 4 or 5 slides, because that's going to be how this whole thing is going to be structured, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the characteristics of a good effective presentation is the presentation idea should be well adapted to your audience, relate to whatever it is. I can't even see what I'm reading. I'm just reading off the thing and the color is really lousy, but hey, maybe this slide will look better. So I'll switch the slide and say a good presentation must be planned. The speaker must plan how to begin. I can't read the rest because I'm in the middle of the way. Let me move out of the way. And then presentation, the end of the presentation without losing audience interest. I guess you know where I'm heading with this. These 2 slides are obviously not what a good presentation should be like. But there is more. For my presentation today, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to read each and every PowerPoint slide word for word, and that's all I am going to do. And at the end of it, I expect all of you to clap and say, hey, wow, great presentation. And once again, this is obviously not the way to do a good presentation. But hey, wait, there is a few more. How about something like this? Haven't we all seen complicated charts where there's like 6 different things on the x-axis, another 5 on the y-axis, and then we also have a z-axis to boot, and very small letters over here which nobody can read, not even the presenter, not even the person who designed Microsoft. And then, to make it worse, there is this nice little analysis, so-called analysis here, which, first of all, is very difficult to read, and it just messes things up and doesn't really explain anything because it's so wordy. And then if I read what's over there, this graph is a boring mixture of design and colors. Usually the audience gets really confused when they see this graph. Pro tip, if you want to confuse the audience, have a graph like this. Getting back to this. To make matters worse, the analysis is a wordy piece of work with no real tangible benefit. The only thing worse than these slides is what follows. Ta-da! Haven't we seen these? 4 complicated slides with about 1 million things, which even the person who prepared the slide doesn't understand. And there's more. How about a roadmap like this? Even with the most powerful electron microscope the world has ever designed, we can't read what's on this. But touch your hearts and think about it. How many times have you actually seen slides like this being posted and people talking big about these slides? These things happen. And then this is a slight play on the previous slide. What's worse than having a confusing slide is actually to have a number of different languages on the same slide. And let's move on. In fact, a slide like this has just as much value as a slide like this. No value. You can't read it, you can't understand it, and you really, by the time you get to a slide like this, you have completely lost interest in the presentation. And the only thing you're praying for is, when will this stop so I can go outside and have a cup of tea? And you get more. Friends, the point is, let's stop. Let's all stop and think about what has just happened. What has just happened? And I would really appreciate if members of the audience here, please, in the chat box, can you please share with me your genuine feedback on what you saw so far? I mean, one word is enough. It could even start with C and the second letter can be R. But I would like to see what your feedback is on the chat box. What do you think of what you saw so far? All those slides. Anyone? The chat box is free. We are not charging for it today. From tomorrow, we'll be charging something. Jargon, good, thank you. Toastmaster Tabassum. There's a lot of jargon in it. There's a lot of garbled, a lot of mess. What do you think about the colors? What do you think of the colors? Did you like the colors? DTM Zahara. It's not understood, absolutely, Wafa. Can't understand what was the whole purpose of all of this. Why did you put so many? Color blinds me. Yes, teacher Malan. Flashy colors. Sometimes flashy colors are good, but not in this particular case. Thank you so much. Thanks. I'm getting a few responses. Please keep them coming. It is boring. Absolutely. It is boring. I mean, you didn't really come here to see some fellow put a whole bunch of presentations, slides, and then nothing really concrete comes out of it. Okay, thanks for your comments. Now let's think about it. Let's think about it. How can we make this better? How can this whole thing change? What was wrong? Now we know. We got a fair idea of what were the things that were wrong in all the previous slides. And honestly, if you really think about it, save the roast for later. Yes, why not? But we can also have a few roasts as we go along. And for the non-Toastmasters here, a roast is where we kind of, tarnish each other in a good way, in a positive way. But yeah, I know, old habits die hard. Anyway, let's now think about it. What really happened there? How can we make things better? How can we make things better? And that's the whole purpose, my dear friends, of today's presentation. The issues that we saw in all the slides, all the previous slides, I have listed it out for you here. Now, going with exactly what I have mentioned earlier, I'm not going to read word by word. I would like you to read word by word. But let's discuss. The slides were really crowded. Some of those slides were very, very crowded. It was a pain to just look at it. There was too much of detail, and normally people who come to look at a presentation do not want to come and look at details, because probably we have already shared documents with them to prepare, so they have seen the details. What they are coming here for is an explanation of the details. So leave the details to the documents which are sent earlier. Bad color schemes, definitely. Keep the color scheme simple, keep it pleasant to the eye. I always prefer this black and white because, at least for students from my era, we had what was called a blackboard and they used to write with white chalk. So this is like for us getting back to our basics. So it's very easy and pleasant to me. But of course, probably students of the current era are more used to the whiteboard and with markers, blue and green and yellow and what have you. But still, the point is, try to keep it simple so that it's pleasant to the eye, it's pleasing to the eye, and it's easy for the audience to read and understand and listen to you all at the same time. Next important point, keep the slides design consistent. From this point onwards, you will see the slides that I am going to present to you will follow a standard, consistent design. And why do I need to do that? Again, I need to make it easy for you, the audience, to understand and to follow, and not to give you a headache looking at my slides. But up to this point, all the slides you saw, they didn't have consistent design. Each of them looked different to the other. And usually that happens when we cut and paste from different presentations and try to put it together. That's when the slide design messes up. My sincere advice to you, if you are cutting and pasting, please make an effort to standardize the design. It doesn't take a long time to standardize the design. But keep it standardized because it's easy for the audience to look, to read, to listen, and to understand all at the same time. You have to put yourself in the shoes of the audience to know what they are going through just to see. You might be enjoying yourself, but you need to do it. The next thing is, please go prepared. The worst thing an audience wants to see is somebody who says they are an expert, but comes unprepared. That's not what they are spending their time for. Remember, they are spending time, they are spending valuable time, they are hoping to get some benefit out of sitting and listening. So please, for God's sake, prepare very well for the presentation. Then we have covered this point, reading of the slide step by step. Don't read word to word the slide. Do what I am doing now. You see, I have put this slide on. For the last 5 minutes, you only see this slide. I am explaining point by point. I am not reading word by word. This is what the audience expects of a person who is presenting. To explain the concepts, the ideas that are presented on the slide. Not to read word by word. Reading word by word, they can also, they can ask for a copy of the presentation. They can go home and read it peacefully. You don't need to read it for them. They all know to read. Instead of reading, do what I am doing. Explain point by point, because that's where the value addition comes. The next thing is, as presenter, you should be interested in what you are trying to present. The best example I can give all of you is, if you get a chance, look at world champion of public speaking, Mohammad Kahtani's world championship winning speech, Power of Words. The first part of it, he explains about this scientist, climate change scientists will come and nobody understands what he's doing, mainly because even the scientist doesn't seem to be interested in what he's presenting. You've got to show interest in what you're presenting. Now look at me, I'm all animated, my hands are going around, my head is going around. I'm trying to show you that I'm interested in what I am trying to present. And that's important for an effective presentation. If all of these things happen, the audience loses interest. And if the audience has lost interest, the whole purpose of the presentation is lost. So far, so good. Now it's time for a bad joke. Time for a bad joke. I like bad jokes because I'm a bad boy. They say PowerPoint slides are like children. No matter how ugly they are, you will think they are beautiful if they are yours, if they are your own. I know it's a bad joke, but you get the point. If you make a PowerPoint slide, you think your slide is the best. Now, I think this slide is the best. It's like my children, even though it's an ugly slide. But that's the point. We put in effort to try and design PowerPoint slides, or we copy and paste from here and there, and we think we have got the best set of PowerPoint slides that the world has ever seen. But that possibly is not true. Maybe our slides are probably the worst looking slides that you will ever see. But because we made it, we think it's the best. Try to get out of this little limitation or psychology. Don't think that just because I made the slide, it's good. If someone else is coming to you and giving you some feedback, take it. Maybe their idea will be the difference between making your PowerPoint presentation presentable or useless. Okay, so now that we got some of the basics out of the way, let's try again. You need to know your audience, friends. Who are you presenting to? What are you doing? Now, today I was told by the area director, DTM Zahra Al-Mukharrak, that the main audience is a set of her students. So I was told to speak about making a presentation for students who are quite senior in their school careers, in their academic pursuits. Now, if I was doing this presentation for a bunch of 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, the content and the slides and the way I present probably will be totally different. But because I'm speaking to a matured group of people, I'm presenting it in this manner. So you should know your audience. Same way, if you're presenting to a group of doctors, you might present it in a particular way. If you're presenting to a group of engineers, you might present it, and so on and so forth. Know your audience. Keep the presentation concise, meaning keep it compact, maintain focus. Always remember what you are doing. The purpose of my today's presentation is, and just so that I don't forget, I have kept the agenda in front of me, and it says master your presentation skills. So that's always in the back of my mind. Mastering presentation skills is what I hope to achieve in 35 minutes, or passing some experience and knowledge I have on that topic is what I hope to achieve. It should always have a central message. The central message in my presentation today is about presentations. We need to control nerves. Just like our master of ceremonies mentioned earlier, and just like probably all of you who have attended or are attending today are thinking, you come here to learn to control nerves, and that's very important. And believe me, trust me, even the world champion of public speaking, even after becoming world champion, when they get onto the stage, then very next minute, they will still have nerves. This was told to me by a few world champions who I have met. All of them have nerves, even after they became world champion. So it's okay to have nerves. The point is, it's natural to have nerves, but what we should learn is how to control those nerves, how to harness the power of those nerves to up our performance. That's it. You can never eradicate. And it's, by the way, science has shown that a little bit of nerves is actually good for you. It helps you to perform better, because of the adrenaline and all those things kicking in, you might actually perform a bit better. So a little bit of nerves is good for you. What you need to learn is to control. And last but not least, use your visual aids and props very carefully and very properly. Now, in this particular case, I have these slides as my visual aids and props, and also me dancing around on the screen is actually a visual aid that I'm going to use, because when I want to emphasize on some points, I will move my face to near that. So I know you don't like to see my face, so you will look at the point next to it. So I'm going to use myself as a prop, and hopefully, so the point is, each of these is a prop, it's a visual aid. Try to learn to use it properly and effectively so that your presentation becomes effective. So that's the first set of rules. So far, so good. If you have any questions, what I suggest is just feel free to type it into the chat, and later on we can pick on them in the Q&A session. But when it's fresh in your mind, just type the question in the chat box. And if it's a quick question, quick answer, I might even just rattle off the answer as we go along. Okay, so that's the first set of rules done. Now let's get to the second set of rules on the presentation, on the contents of the presentation. Every presentation should be structured properly. There should be an opening, a body, and a conclusion. Now, once you get into Toastmasters, you will realize we Toastmasters are obsessed with opening, body, and conclusion. Opening, body, and conclusion. Wherever you go, we'll talk about opening, body, and conclusion. When you want to eat also, we'll ask opening, body, and conclusion. Starter, main course, dessert. Opening, body, and conclusion. This is, by the way, it's not a joke. Every presentation, every speech, every little chat we do always should have an opening, a body, and a conclusion. Example, you get into school, you forgot to do your homework. Your teacher asks you, can you please hand me your homework? Now you need to answer to that. And the answer has to be plausible so that you don't get whacked. If it is structured properly, the chances are that the teacher will say, oh, miskin, okay, I give you one more day. But if you ruin the structure, the chances are that you're going to get whacked. The structure is to have a proper opening, a body, and a conclusion. Proper opening, miss, I really wanted to do it. I took my pen also to my hand. The book was in front of me. And as I started writing, the lights went off. So therefore, I couldn't do it. Please, can you give me one more day? Opening, body, conclusion. A simple, silly example, but that's what the whole idea is. In everything that we do, have an opening, a body, and a conclusion. Next is, please rehearse what you're going to do. Just so that you know, I am speaking to this screen over here. I can see the presentation on screen, but I want to show you that I also have the presentation on another screen in front of me. I have a second screen in front of me, just so that I make sure I don't miss any important points. That's the level of respect you need to give to your audience, because they are here spending their time to learn something or to hear something from you. You need to give that level of respect. So whilst I'm looking over here, I'm also slightly glancing to the side, so that just to make sure I don't miss anything important, I have the same presentation on another screen on the side as well. And at the same time, I also have my timing device, personal timing device also in the side. That's again out of respect. See, you should have all these things, and only if you rehearse, you will have all these things in front of you so you can make an effective presentation. The next thing is audience interaction. Of course, in an online medium, it's a bit difficult to have audience interaction, but that's why I try to encourage the audience to try to write something on the chat. That's the audience interaction I can. But a few tips on how to improve on this. Zoom has the poll feature. You could use the poll feature. You could ask a question and tell the audience to type the answers. Or you can in fact tell the audience, please unmute yourself and let me listen to your voice. Let me hear you answer it. These are all ways of interacting with the audience. The other thing is be presentable. Now, I wore red today because this is Valentine's season apparently. Not that I'm trying to hit on anybody on screen today, but I just wore red so that I look nice. And also they say psychologically, red color attracts the human eyes. So I am trying to use that psychology in order to be a little bit more attractive, because I know I am not a very attractive human being. I have a lot of gray hair. So I'm using my best to try to be presentable. And last but not least, try to be optimistic in whatever you're saying, in whatever you're doing, and affirmative, meaning always give positive statements, strong statements, statements that make a point and that affirm what you're trying to do. All right, so far so good. Let's move on. Now, I would like you to keep these 3 slides, this one, and then the bad joke that I had, this slide, and slide 2. These are just 4 slides, remember. Just keep these 4 slides in the back of your mind, in your random access memory. Compare them with the first set of slides that I showed you, and compare what I did just now, just out of these 4 slides. The third comparison is look at this slide. I'm not going to read this. Just take a look at this slide and the next one. Can I make a confession here? The 4 slides that I told you to keep at the back of your mind, this, and this, everything that I spoke over the last 7 to 10 minutes is on this slide and this slide. Now you tell me, had I kept this slide on and spoken, would you have actually listened to me all this time? And compare it with the effectiveness of these slides. There you go. No way. But it's exactly the same information in these and these 2 slides is here and here. You see how you can grab the audience and how you can ruin the audience? This is it, friends. So it doesn't get easier and simpler than that. Yes, of course. See, you're already like, it's not surprised. You're like saying, oh my God, I don't want to look at this, Wafa. Right. Next important thing to get your presentation going is please prepare. And in order to prepare, there are just 3 points, 3 factors to keep in your mind. The 3 factors are, you need to have knowledge, some basic knowledge. I don't want all of us to pretend to be Einstein. No. Have basic knowledge of the topic that we are trying to speak. Research a bit more on that topic if you like to present new information. And have good, relevant material. These are the 3 aspects of presentation. It doesn't get simpler than this. So have relevant knowledge. Research on the topic if you also want to learn a bit more about that topic, and get good relevant material into the presentation. And once that is done, the 3 P's of presentation, of our preparation. The 3 P's of preparation. Practice, practice, and practice. And these 3 P's are the 3 P's of preparation for anything in life. Whether it is for exams, whether it is for your interview, whether it is for a game of football, whether it is to practice all you can eat at KFC, you need practice. So do this. Knowledge, have knowledge. You don't need to be Einstein. Research well, get good material, and friends, please practice. Practice, keep practicing until the presentation is literally in the back of your mind. Having said that, don't be overconfident. Have something in the side just to refer to, just to make sure you don't forget everything. But practice is very, very important. Now let's look at the timeline, and let me get out of the way. Let's look at the timeline of a good presentation. If you remember, I told you everything in life should have an opening, a body, and a conclusion. Same thing with the presentation. And generally, this is the amount of time I would spend, time and effort I would spend on each part, my dear friends. On the opening, I wouldn't spend over 15% of the time and effort, 10 to 15%. On the body, I spend a good 70 to 80% of my time and effort. And at the conclusion, once again, about 10 to 15%. And generally, this is a small formula I follow, even for my speeches, even for my evaluations, whatever it may be. I follow this general formula, and it seems to work. So fix on. Yes, I did, Yusuf. I have been, he's asking, by any chance, did you volunteer to give some workshops in Discover Islam? I have been a volunteer at Discover Islam for quite some time, so I probably may have seen you. So thanks for reminding me. It's a very unforgettable occasion. I hope you were not one of the naughty kids I had thought of chasing out of the class once. No, none of you were naughty. You were all great. Anyway, coming back to this, opening, body, and conclusion, this is the general split of time that I personally prefer. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's not carved in stone, but all I can tell you is find something that's comfortable for you as the presenter and for the audience to follow you. Remember, it's the audience that is most important. It's not about you. It's not about the presentation. It's about how much they take out of the presentation. Right? Now let's move on. Some quick tips on each part. The opening should be, you should grab attention of the audience and set the stage. Today, how did I grab your attention? First of all, by making you get fed up of this presentation, by showing all those congested slides. You must have been thinking, hey, we thought this guy is coming to teach us to make good presentations. He himself is making bad presentations. But that's the strategy I used to grab your attention. And setting the stage for what was to come, because today's presentation is about how to make presentations good. And if I didn't show you that bad thing, then you wouldn't. It's called the shock treatment. Once again, if you think about Mohammad Qahtani's winning speech, he starts the speech by getting onto the stage and pretending to light a cigarette. That's a shock treatment. The people will say, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Wait. That's the whole idea. But again, that's not the only strategy. There are others, but you can use something that's relevant to the topic you're presenting. Startle, rhetoric, don't worry too much about all these technicalities. Once you become Toastmasters, you will really dive deeper into this. But today, the technique I used was startling each of you. That was the technique that I used today. Sometimes you can use humor, you can crack a joke, and so on. Yes, of course, so I get a lot of shock treatment from my wife. She's waiting here for me. Anyway, you can arouse curiosity, you can ask questions from them, you can tell stories. These are all different techniques in your opening. Again, once you dive deeper into it, you will start learning all of this. Some of these will work in some situations. All of them need not necessarily work all the time. You will, as you gain experience, you will be able to figure out which one fits in where. let me quickly jump now to the closing. Your closing should be memorable. The audience at the end of the session, they were listening to you for some time. The last bit is what they generally remember the most. So try to make it memorable. Sing a song, have a nice fanfare like in the circus, whatever it may be, but try to make it memorable. Now, of course, I'm kidding. I don't really want each of you to jump up and down the stage singing songs, but try to make it, they should be able to remember what you have said. See, now in this particular case, I'm going to speak for 35 minutes and I'm going to have a Q&A for 10 minutes. I know for a certainty, each and every one of you here is not going to remember word to word what I said, but you will understand the concept. But what you will remember is at the end what I tell you, and from that I will tell you what you should be doing. That's called a call to action. Once you listen to my presentation, once you have gone through it, what action do I want you to take? That's called a call to action. And again, this exists even in normal speeches. Normally, again, take that homework example. Your call to action was for the teacher. Madam, please give me one more day. That's a call to action. So the teacher says, you know what, Miss Keen, you're a good kid. I'll give you one more day. She is accepting that call to action, right? So have a memorable conclusion and have a call to action, which the audience, whoever is listening to you, will take some action they are supposed to take or not take. In this particular case, give you one more day and please don't whack me. I am innocent. The electricity went. See, so it's that. Now, there are again, just like in the opening, you have a few techniques to make it memorable. Again, my objective is not to get into each of these in detail. I don't want to give you too much of that detail and bore you, but you could use a quotation, you could use humor, similar techniques to like an opening. You could have all of those and give your call to action. After the presentation is over, you have to answer questions. If the audience has questions, answer them. Again, don't misunderstand me. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will know the answer to every question. Don't get me wrong, that's not the objective. And humanly, it's not possible to know the answer to every question. But you should attempt sincerely to answer the question. And if you do not know the answer to the question, don't say something to just get out of the situation. Tell the audience, let me note it down. I will take a look at it. I will check on it and I'll get back to you. That's a very valid response. Trust me, I have done that a number of times. I have been teaching, I have been training, I have gone for sales presentations, I have gone for banking presentations. If I don't know the answer to a question, I tell them, I have noted it down. I do not know the answer right now, but I'll get back to you in 2 days' time. And in 2 days' time, get back to them with the answer. So answer the questions, provide your contact information, because maybe somebody who's listening to the presentation might want to contact you later. If the audience requires the notes, please feel free to share, because there is nothing called copyright in this world now. I know some people harping about copyright, and I mean, come on, after we die, what copyright? So if your audience wishes to take your notes, feel free to share it with them, big deal. And keep good niyyah, keep a good intention. I am giving this and inshallah, this is sadaqat al-jariyah for me. So until day of eternity, we will get merit from this. So just keep this niyyah and give it off. And nextly, follow up with the audience, because sometimes the audience may have had questions, but they felt shy to ask. They didn't know to ask. They didn't want to ask. But if you follow up, they might. Now, in this particular case, I am hoping that our DTM Zahra Al-Mukharrak, she is more closer to the audience today. She will follow up with you on my behalf, and if there are more questions, please feel free to pass it to me and we can discuss it at a future meeting. But that follow-up is important. Next comes the question of slides. How many slides? What do I have in the slides? What do I put in the slides? Very important question. Very, very important question. And for this, I will give you a small, it's a technique. I call it the 10, 20, 30 technique. What does this 10, 20, 30 mean? have a maximum of 10 slides. Of course, you can have different versions of the same slide because PowerPoint allows you to bring animation and that and this. Maximum of 10 slides for every 20 minutes. Maximum. Again, don't take this as a rule. If your presentation is 20 minutes, maximum should be 10 slides because your audience cannot look at and understand more than that. And try to keep the font size at least 30, not like the first slide I showed you, chuti small ones, you need a microscope to read it. Not that. So 10 slides for every 20 minutes and with minimum font size of 30. That way at least they can read what's on the screen. Time and again I have gone for presentations in which some guy at the back says, I can't see. Of course he can't see because you have written in font 9. Even on MS Word, if you type in font 9, you can't read it. How can he read from about 10 meters away? Minimum, keep it at font size 30, please. And some of the things to avoid on slides. There are certain cliched things I have seen on slides and it has become overused. Friends, stop using those stupid gear wheels and cogs and people holding hands, stones stacked on one on top of the other, thumbs up sign, archery to show bullseye, jigsaw puzzle, people racing with business clothes, handshakes. All of these things are overused. If it is relevant, it's okay. If it's a presentation about archery, it's okay having archery. But if you're talking about hitting the target, please, for God's sake, skip the archery. If it's about people needing to live in a united manner and so on and so forth, it's okay showing people holding hands. But if you want to show about your organization culture and what have you, please don't show people showing hands because I know in organizations, people don't hold hands. So there are few things to avoid. And this list, in fact, I got from the BBC. I have a link for the list at the bottom of the page. And if you have time, and of course I will share these notes later on. If you have time, just take a look at this. This is not something that I made up. I actually got from a proper source from BBC they have been also researching this topic for ages and they have fed up of seeing these things. So they have put this thing up. This is something special for Toastmasters. Even if we don't listen to a speech, we will listen to how many times you said, and then later we say, you said 6 R's, 2 R's and 22 ums. Again, not to make a joke out of it, but sometimes these things can be distracting. They can distract from the main message. So try to control them. And for those who are new to public speaking, you might face this quite a lot. But as you develop your skills, you will find that your ability to control these R's and R's and ums increases to such an extent that sometimes you can speak for about 20-30 minutes and probably just have 1 or 2 R's and ums, and that's okay. All right. So few are acceptable. Don't have too many because that becomes distracting. But if it's too many R's and ums, trust me, it's very irritating. You would not want to hear somebody say, don't take this off. It's very irritating. You should understand the purpose why we use R's, R's and ums. Essentially, it is our brain telling us that it needs about 2 seconds to think. In that thinking time, what we do is we feel that we are obliged to make a sound. So we make the sound while thinking. Believe me, you can still think by keeping your mouth shut and not making that noise. Like what I'm doing now. You can think without making the R's and ums. So that's the training that you need to get. And believe me, you will be able to get that training. So the solution for R's and ums is stop and breathe. Stop and breathe. Don't make the sound. You can just kill that sound. Finally, I think my time is up. The red board, red screen is on. So in summary, what I would like to tell you is presentations are not rocket science. It's simple, common sense. Keep them simple. Keep the font sizes bigger. Stick to one particular topic. know your subject. If you don't know the subject, research the subject, get good relevant material, and above all, practice, learn what is there, and present in a very positive and an energetic manner for it to be impactful. Always things can be improved. Once you have a good presentation, keep improving it. This particular presentation that you see is actually like the 6th version of the same presentation. I have kept working on it and kept improving. We should be like the guy in the corner with the round wheels, not the two fellows who are struggling to push this. You see, they say, no, thanks, we don't want to improve, we are busy. But the man in the side here says, listen, I found a new way for you to do this. So no, we are busy, we don't want to make any changes. We are just happy the way things are. Friends, I guess that's all the time I have. Maybe I will just leave this thing. If you ever get a chance, please go and take a look at this video. It's on YouTube. I will share the link. It's done by a trainer called Ranjan De Silva, another Sri Lankan like me. I'm not promoting him just because he's Sri Lankan. The reason I would like you to see this presentation is because this is a 27 minutes presentation, and it had only 5 slides. 27 minutes presentation, he had only 5 slides, and there was between 5 and 8 words per slide. I would like you to take a look at it to find out how and why it's important to keep. Yes, all of this will be shared, Alan. Don't worry, I'll definitely share it. Not just on chat, I'll even send it out to everybody. Take a look at this presentation and you will not regret the 27 minutes that you spent, not just because it's a good presentation, but because of the way he does it. It's a bit dated, but that's all right. So that concludes my 2-hour presentation. Any questions? Did you intend the presentation to be incomprehensible, or do you have some sort of rare PowerPoint disability? Are there any questions about the content? Somebody asked, there was content? You don't want your audience to react this way. Are there any questions about my presentation? Yes. Did you brush your teeth too aggressively and accidentally stab yourself in the brain? Can you be more specific? Frontal lobes. Friends, thank you so much for your attention, and I am all yours for questions. Back to you, madam, and let me stop sharing the screen.
Wow, oh my God, what a power-packed presentation on presentation skills. The one thing I learned is not to use archery, handshakes, pebbles, and instead wear a red attire. I made a mistake, not wearing red today. Now we have 5 to 10 minutes for the Q&A session. The floor is open. If anyone likes to ask question to our presenter, you can raise your hand. Anyone from, yes, DTM Zara?
Yes. First of all, I would like to thank you, DTM Farhaz, although we're doing lots of presentations like since we were in school, university, and then now again school. But the knowledge that you shared with us today, I feel it's special. And yes, sometimes I took lots of screenshots before you said that you would share it. So luckily you will share it with all of us. And yes, I will share it with all our audience. I would like just to maybe raise a point, then ask a question. Number one, I think it would be better to share a QR code instead of just sharing the link. So it would be better for them just to scan it, but they might be distracted using their phone. And number two, if you are preparing for yourself, if you're preparing for your presentation to be delivered at work or in university, is there a difference in the preparation? That's it.
Mute. Yeah. I know. You're on mute. The quote of the last year, I think that was the phrase of the year. If there was anything that is supposed to be quote of the year, it is you're on mute. Or can you please unmute? Anyway, essentially the concept, the foundations should remain the same. But the difference I would see if you're presenting or preparing a presentation for university compared to say you're preparing something for your work is essentially the content and the way in which it will be presented. Now let me take both as examples because I have done both of these. Like, let me start with work first. For work, because I'm an accountant, more often than not, I would make presentations about my company to bankers, to auditors, and so on and so forth, to the central bank and so on. So over here, it's more factual, and it is trying to tell them about what has happened in the past, and then give forward-looking statements on what the company hopes to do in the future. And thereafter, based on that, ask them for something. If it's a banker, you will ask for money. And if it is an auditor or a regulator, you will ask them for a clean report. But on the other hand, if you think about an academic presentation, more often than not, over here, we are trying to exhibit the level of academic knowledge that we have gained in a particular subject. So in this particular case, we might want to show the quantum of knowledge that we know. I'm not again saying copy and paste 3 pages onto your presentation. No, don't get me wrong. But you can structure it in such a way that you present your main findings, because in academia, what happens is you read books and you're supposed to synthesize your own thought. You put your own thought on the slide and then you tell your audience, this is how I came to this particular idea. I read this, these are the books, this is my bibliography, and based on this, this is the new thought that I have come to. So you present the readings first, then you present how you arrive, your synthesized ideas and the rationale behind it, and then you will present that to you. So you see the slight difference over here. So on one hand, you show them what you have read, what you have thought about it, and how you came to that conclusion, as against presenting history, presenting past, future plans, and asking for a favor. So but end of the day, the presentation that you make should be following my 10, 20, 30 rule, having this having the same ideas, color schemes. That premise, that foundation remains the same. Your slides should look easy on the eyes. What you present should be well understood. You should be well prepared. All of that is common for both of those. Content may be different.
So do we have any more questions from the audience? We still have some time.
Okay, there is a question over here. There is a difference for some doctors.
Yes, from Wafa.
Each teacher has their own style of presenting, their own style of teaching. And let me give you one genuine, and this is again based on personal experience, because I have been in your shoes once upon a time. Not every teacher, or not all the teachers have the same style of teaching. And if we get used to only one style of teaching, we are going to expect that same style from all the teachers. Now, why is that a bad thing? Is because, remember, Wafa, we are in university, we are in college for a short period in our life. Our real life is once we get outside. And when we get to the outside world, not everybody who we meet is exactly the same. Each one will speak differently, treat differently, explain things differently. We should learn to work with different types of individuals in our life. The training we get in university with different types of teachers is preparing us for the bigger role that we will play when we get on to our life. So yes, not all doctors are the same, not all teachers are the same, but that is there with a reason, because university is a small version of the real world that we will see, and the way we can adapt ourselves to each different person will train us for the real world. Thank you.
Yusuf is asking, how long does it take to finish a Toastmaster course?
Okay, Yusuf, I'll give you a small deal. If you engage me as your teacher, I can give you a crash course. But if you go to DTM Zahra, she will take you the long route. See, Yusuf, this is not a course, brother. This is a program, and it's called a self-paced program. Why is it called self-paced? It's called self-paced because we decide how fast or slow we want to do it. Some of us may want to do it as fast as possible, so you can take it as, you can even finish it in 1 year, 2 years, maybe 2 years generally at the minimum. But some of us like to take a slow pace, 4 years, 5 years. I took about 5 years, in fact 6 years to finish the course, though it's not a course. I paced it out. I took my time. I enjoyed every step out of it. But there are some who would finish it in 2 years as well. So it's totally up to you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we have DTM Alan amongst us who has done it in 2 years.
There you go. DTM Alan is 2 years. I am a 6 years case. So you see that I was very distracted, and obviously I was spending more time in the canteen and going for movies. But DTM Alan was stuck to his books and he studied. So I was the bad student. He was a good student.
I would like to confirm something or to clarify something that after each level, for example, 3 to 4 projects, you will receive a certificate of completion for this specific level. And then you will get after 5 levels, you will get another certificate of professional certificate for achieving this path. For example, there is a presentation path where you will learn lots of presentation skills. Okay, so it's not just like after those 2 years or 6 years you will receive this certificate, but you will receive more than one certificate.
And also, Yusuf, one more thing, there are some people in Toastmasters for 20, 30 years. And the reason they are hanging around for so long is because every single day they learn something new. And believe me, you will learn something new every single day. All right, back to you.
Yes, thank you. I think that is the most important thing. We learn each and every day rather than getting all these allocates. Yeah. Now, as our presenter mentioned about our world champion of 2015, that is Mohammad Khatani, let's have a look on his winning speech. Let's see how power-packed the winning speech is. So can we have the video, DTM Zara?
I will just play it, and please let me know if you can hear the sound.
Yes.
What? Oh, you all think smoking kills? Let me tell you something. Do you know that the amount of people dying from diabetes are 3 times as many people dying from smoking? Yet if I pulled a Snicker bar, nobody would say anything. Do you know that the leading cause of lung cancer is not actually a cigarette? It's your DNA. You could smoke for years and nothing will ever happen to you. This whole war against smoking is just to restrict the farming of tobacco. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I use these arguments, even though I just made them up, with a group of my friends. And the results, 5 of them believed what I said. 2 of them started smoking. Words, when said and articulated in the right way, can change someone's mind. They can alter someone's belief. You have the power to bring someone from the slums of life and make a successful person out of them, or destroy someone's happiness using only your words. Does that seem a bit too good to be true? A simple choice of word can make a difference between someone accepting or denying your message. You can have a very beautiful thing to say, but say it in the wrong words and it's gone. I have a son who's 4, and he had this bad habit of writing on the walls with crayons. And one evening I walked into his room and he's going at it, just writing and drawing and so on. And I said, hey. Are you stupid? do that again. And guess what happened? He did it again. Nobody likes to be threatened. Nobody likes to be intimidated. His pride would not allow it. He did it again just to spite me. A week later, I walked into his room, and again, he's going at it. And this time, he was even looking at me just. I came down and said, sweetie, come here. Don't do that. You're a big boy now. And he never did it again. Because his pride wants him to be the big boy. Have you ever wondered why nobody cares about global warming, even though it's a very serious issue? It could kill all of us. Because when you go home and you flip on the TV and you see a scientist trying to talk about global warming, it goes something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see from the graphs here, that the statistics for 2014, it shows the water level is rising. This table shows that the monodioxide level in the third ozone layer is in a very alarming position. The message never get across. But most importantly, if you are a person who's a role model, if you're a person who's been admired, anything you say could be believed. Anything you utter could be taken as truth. My friend Nasser, he loved his father, idealized his father. He would do anything to make him happy. But his father was the kind of person who's not easy to impress. And year after year, Nasser tried, and his father was like, yeah. First year in college, Nasser got straight A's. And he thought to himself, this is it. This is what will finally make my dad proud. He picked up the phone. He called his dad. Dad, I got straight A's. Are you proud? Please tell me you're proud, Father. Yeah, listen, son, I'll have to call you back. I'm busy. I'm busy was the single sentence that broke the camel's back. And he started drinking, doing drugs, hanging out with the wrong crowd. Nasser, why? Why are you throwing your life away? If the one person in the world that I care about the most doesn't care, then why should I? And one evening I got the phone call. Nasser's in the emergency room, drug overdose. I rushed to that hospital. I saw him on that bed, and I saw that machine go beep, beep, beep. And I saw doctors try to bring him back to life. Clear! 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 It's clear that a single word could have saved this life. Words have power. Words are power. Words could be your power. You can change a life, inspire a nation, make this world a beautiful place. Isn't that what we all wanted? Isn't that what we are all in this hall? Your mouth can spit venom, or it can mend a broken soul. Ladies and gentlemen, let that be our goal. Come to share.
Words indeed the power. What a powerful message by our world champion, Mohammad Khatani. We have one more question from Wafa. Can we take that before we move on to our demo meet speech? We have a question from Wafa. Is a presentation skill that removes the shyness of a woman, as some say? Do you expect this to be positive or negative for a woman?
Yeah. This is actually a sociological question that needs a lot of explanation and thinking. See, Wafa, it's anybody's guess which way this so-called removal of shyness could go. But one thing I can tell you is, ma'am, making a presentation and trying to learn to control those nerves, to control that ability to stand in front of people and make a presentation, do a speech, say something, voice out your opinion, has probably, it should always be viewed of as a positive thing rather than a negative thing. Because remember, the concept of shyness, which I think you are referring to, I think it's called haya in Arabic, that's a different thing compared to being able to stand in front of a crowd and make a presentation. Because remember, when you are running your family, you will have to stand in front of a crowd and speak to people. You will have to stand in front of your husband, your kids, your parents, your uncles, your aunties. That's all vital training that you would get. I'm not in any way saying just because you do this, would you ever lose that so-called shyness that you should maintain, because that comes more out of ethics, it comes more out of values, it comes more out of our cultural norms, and those we have to always uphold. Just because I can stand in front of a crowd and speak to them does not necessarily mean I am ready to run around the city with only my underwear. No, I would never do that. Because that's where our cultural norms and our ethics and our morals kick in. So I guess, I know I have taken a very strong, harsh example to show it to you, but we don't need to compromise on the shyness and our culture and our ethics just because we can stand in front of people and speak to them. So these are two different things, and we should not mix them up. And no, I don't think a lady's shyness would in any way be compromised just because she becomes a little bit more confident and can voice her opinion. I guess I have answered your question. So good luck to you.
Thank you, DTM Farhas, for that insight. And after seeing our world champion of public speaking, Mr. Mohammad Khatani, we are honored today to have someone amongst us who is a project manager working with Mr. Mohammad Khatani, the world champion himself. She is the office manager for Data United General Trading and Contracting Company, a very friendly person, and she loves to give support to everyone. Crazy at times, but a very creative person. Today, she is attempting her level 3 project 1 from the path engaging your audience with humor. Her speech title is Revenge, and the timing for her speech is 5 to 7 minutes. And to evaluate her speech, before I call upon her evaluator, let me brief you what evaluation is. Evaluation in Toastmasters is just giving constructive feedback, that is giving suggestions and pointing out what is lacking in a positive manner. So our evaluator for today's evening is Distinguished Toastmaster Alan Paul. Currently, he is the Head of Education for Speakers Bureau for Kuwait. He is the past president of Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club, immediate past Area 30 director, co-founder of Dreamweavers Toastmasters Club, part of regional debate contest winning team, that is, which consists of Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and Dubai. May I request Toastmaster, the Distinguished Toastmaster Alan Paul, to read out the objectives of Toastmaster Ari Jaffar's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bijal. And a warm good evening to all the viewers out here. My target speaker will be embarking on her level 3, project 1, that is engage your audience with humor. Her purpose is very simple. It is to determine her style of humor. Yes, it is a humorous speech, and apply it to a speech that centers around a central message. So this is all that our objectives are. A speech title is Revenge, and speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm wishing her the best of luck.
Thank you, DTM Alan Paul. Now let's call upon our demo speaker, Toastmaster Ari Jaffar. Her speech title is Revenge. Revenge, Toastmaster Ari Jaffar. The floor is all yours.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Stop! Stop! Raise your voice and shout stop to those who are hurting you. It's time for you to revenge. Toastmaster of the day, honored members and guests. Hate, anger, revenge. Have you ever felt those feelings and wanted to take an action, but you didn't? Hate, anger, revenge are our inner demons, and we all have them inside us. But we learn from them how to think before we act. Few years ago, I was heading to my office looking for a parking, and in that area, it is not easy to find one. But I had a great luck that day. Finally, after 45 minutes, I found a parking. But before I could park, another car came very fast and took my spot. Hey, that was my parking. But I get there first. I closed my window and drove away. I cried. I felt oppressed. At the same time, I started feeling angry. Have you ever felt oppressed and all you would think of is to take back what was taken from you? At that moment, I lost control of myself. Anger was there for me. Anger said, stop acting like a baby and leave this to me. I parked my car far away and found myself next to that guy's car. And in seconds, all was done. Sometimes life puts us in a situation to see how we will react. Are we going to be good people, or our inner demons will take over? With my keys, I scratched that guy's car from front to back and went running to my office. My heart was beating, my body was shaking, anger, revenge, and myself smiled. Good job. But after a few minutes, I started feeling guilt and regret. I went and checked on that guy's car every second until I saw him coming. And when he saw what happened to his car, I felt relieved that I parked my car far away from him. But at the same time, I had mixed feelings. I feel that I taught him a lesson. Next time, he wouldn't do it again. Good job. But I feel that I shouldn't do that. If I think that he is a bad person for taking my spot, then I am not better than him, destroying what belongs to him. I spent days, weeks, even months regretting what I did. I couldn't sleep at night thinking of what I have done. I couldn't erase that image from my mind. I woke up every night choking, unable to breathe, and think that I am a terrible person. Ladies and gentlemen, the worst feeling in the world is regret, and feel that you have become your own demon. Last year, I was working on a project with my assistant, Layla. I have prepared everything, charts, pictures, ideas, everything to present the next day to the managers, thinking of all the awards and credits I would receive, and that finally my dreams would come true. I reached to my office the next day, ready to present, but there I found Layla with the managers presenting my idea as of hers. Hey, that was my project. I closed the door and walked away. I cried. I felt oppressed. At the same time, I started feeling angry. How she could do this to me? I taught her everything. She is no one without my ideas. You know what I did to Layla? Nothing. Good job. Although my keys was with me and I could scratch her body from head to toe. But I have learned to forgive and let go. I have learned that sometimes we need to control our inner demons and be better than those who hurt us. Revenge is very easy. It doesn't need a lot of effort. And maybe at that moment, you smile. But feeling the guilt and regret, suffering for days and maybe years, it's an endless torture we don't need in our life. Hate, anger, revenge are our inner demons, but we can control them when they try to take over. We can use our keys to lock them inside and replace them with love, peace, and forgiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe it's a moment of anger with your kids, a friend talking about you behind your back, or your boss giving you lots of work. Think before you act, because it's your choice to revenge or good job. Back to you.
Wow, what a beautiful speech. And thank God we are on virtual platform. You cannot scratch us. But somebody scratched my car last week. I hope that was not you. But a good one. And one thing I noticed that when the world champion was giving his speech, you know, Toastmaster Arij, I think she had by-hearted that speech word to word. She was enacting in the other window. Hats off. Great. Now, before we call upon our evaluator, we have a very beautiful segment, and that is the table topic session. Now, it is one of the exciting segments, and table topics is that session in Toastmasters meetings where we are given an opportunity to practice impromptu speaking. And to connect this session today, we have a Toastmaster who is very well known for conducting fun-filled and unique table topic sessions. She's a Toastmaster since 2016, a dual member of May Springs Toastmasters Club and Laugh Out Toastmasters Club Kuwait, a humorous speech winner at club level for 3 consecutive years. Wow. She has conducted 5 global virtual unconventional competitions, and her hobbies are dancing, painting, trekking, and her motto in life is live life king size. Wow. And above all, she is very well known for her fun-filled table topic sessions. So let's have some fun with our very creative table topic master, Toastmaster Tabassum Ali.
Hi, good evening. How's everyone? Yeah, Farhaz, it's okay. You don't need to bang your head because I have been inspired by you, giving a shock treatment. And that's what I'm doing right now. As Bijal has explained me that I'm beautiful and all that, I have to live up to the expectations, right? Okay, so come back to me. My not original, artificial face. Once again, good evening to our wonderful, wonderful students. And hey, didn't I ask you to open your videos? I cannot give a presentation. I need to see you. I need to feel that, okay, you are there. Okay, give me some reaction. Begin with some reaction. with some clapping or thumbs up, so I know that you all are here and you all are watching. Yes, I can see Rayan giving me a thumbs up. Zara, yes. That's great. That's great. Okay. And I'm going to catch Farhaz first. Okay, Farhaz. Munira, I'm going to catch you as well. Okay, to start the topic, right? Now, what is table topping? You heard the presentation, blah, 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 blah. And Farhaz said you have to practice, practice, practice. But hey, this is table topic. Life will not come with a manual. Life will not come that every time say, excuse me, give me 5 minutes. I'll just go practice, practice, practice and come back and deliver. No, most of the time it's going to be impromptu and you have to be ready to take the shock treatment, right? So here we go. This is what the table topic content is. Now, I'm not going to throw a topic on you. I'm going to prepare you well before I deliver the topic. And let me tell you, it's very, very simple. I know you students like to be creative. As George Bernard Shaw has said, imagination is the beginning of all creation. And you are the students who will lead the way ahead with your imagination, right? So we'll have this table topic segment, which will be like, you have to speak for 2 minutes, like an instant noodle in 2 minutes. So I give you a topic and you have to just speak for 2 minutes. So you'll be shown a green card at 1 minute, a yellow card at yellow signal at 1.5 minutes, and you'll be shown a red at 2 minutes. And we'll consider no overtime. Even if you take little extra time, that's totally okay because this is a demo meeting, right? So here we go. Munira, I can see some nice smileys coming on the chat window and I'm going to catch you now. So the first topic will go to Munira. So are we ready? Are we ready for the topic? Let me just share my screen. Oh, that's great. And I need to share the sound as well. Yeah. Students, so I'll give the first topic to Munira so you will know what exactly table topic is. Right? So here we start. Munira, you cannot select, the topic will select itself. 1, 2, 3. Why is education so expensive? And all the students will agree with me, right? Munira, can you hear me? You can unmute yourself and you can answer this topic. Why is education so expensive? Munira.
Yes, that was a tough one. Madam Contest Master, Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests, students. Very good evening very good evening to all of you.
Yes, Munira. Munira, I think you've gone bankrupt paying the money. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I think education is expensive because there are so many colleges, unnecessarily there are lots of colleges and schools, maybe because of that. I don't know, or maybe there's more knowledge in the world to be acquired. So, the more the knowledge there is, the more we need professors and teachers and colleges and schools. And so the education is expensive. But what I feel personally is that it is not about it is not about having very expensive education. What I feel personally is that what we learn from our day-to-day life is equally or maybe even more useful to us, because I've heard that education outside the school is the best education. So expensive education doesn't count as long as you are always learning from each and every experience that we have, that we may have good experiences, bad experiences. Mostly all of these are learning experiences. So no matter what we have, education may be expensive, but you don't exactly, so wherever you are, you can always go for the least expensive. So far as it is, quality education. But if you have somebody to tell you something about something that you don't know, I feel that is education. Now, TTM Farhaz, he conducted a presentation. It was free. It was really educational. He did not charge for it. It was not expensive. So I feel what we did is that we attended this meeting today to make the most of it. So what I feel is that wherever we go, there are lots of opportunities for us to learn and experience and be educated. And it doesn't finish at all, it's still we die. So what I feel, Toastmaster Tabassum, is that education is for life, and it does not involve education, expensive education, or high quality education, or international syllabuses or anything. Personally,
Excellent.
it just depends on our way of thinking and being able to accept everything that we learn and take the best out of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maria. Round of applause to you. And good, you're not a contestant in a contest, others you would have been disqualified going over time. You're right.
Yeah, I always do that.
So, okay, that's another life lesson. Learning never stops, and life is the biggest teacher. And I personally feel education starts when the school college ends. That's where your real education is. Now, see, the topic's as simple as that. So, would anyone volunteer? Come on, I want the students. Come on, students, the future of the world. I want one of you to take the topic, or else I'll show you the topic and then you select. Would you like to go that way? Okay, let me spin the wheel, get the topic, and then whoever would like to volunteer, just go ahead. Okay, come on. I want to have students who are daring and take the first step and go ahead for the topic. Okay, so let me once again share the screen.
Toastmaster Tabassum, I think Wafa has said yes.
Wafa said yes. Oh, great. Okay, Wafa. Okay, Wafa, let's see your topic now. Okay, you can just have a sneak peek. These are the topics. Stop. Wafa, we all want to know. Tell us what you did last summer. Wafa, we would like to hear what you did last summer. Can I try the same topic, education? Yes, of course you can try. After the Wafa, we will give you the topic. Wafa? It's okay, we'll not disclose a secret to anyone. What happens in Rome will remain in Rome. Wafa, are you taking? Yes, go ahead, Wafa. Anyone else would like to take the topic?
Even in Arabic, Wafa,
Yeah.
you can try it in بالعربي, يعني. It's okay.
Yes, perfectly. Anyone would like to take the topic? What happened, Wafa? Okay, we'll come. Yeah, Wafa, please go ahead. Great.
بهاي الصيف شو سويت؟ تعلمت أول شيء، قريت أكثر من كتاب. أول شيء كتاب نظرية الفستق، وايد يعني نصحوني فيه، فهاي وايد شو أكثر شيء علمني هاي الكتاب إنه شلون إنه أخطط للسنة اللي هي سنة 2020. وايد تعلمت إنه لازم إنه نفس يابولي إنه مثال إنه مثلا طيارة، إنه إذا واحد ما بيعرف وين بيروح أو ما بيخطط وين هو بالضبط بيروح أو أي منطقة أي دولة بيوصل، ما راح يوصل إذا هو مو مخطط من قبل. فإحنا مثل الشيء، إذا إحنا عندنا هدف ومو مخططين مثل ما الطيارة تخطط للدولة اللي تبي تروحها، نفس الشيء إحنا ما راح نضيع، وآخرتها يا بتوقف الطيارة أو بترد مثل ما بدت. هاي الحكمة وايد يعني استفدتها بهاي الإجازة، لدرجة إنها وايد علمتني أشياء إنه علمتني حتى لهاي السنة اللي هي مالت الأونلاين جامعتنا. كنت متخوفة الصراحة وقلت يمكن يكون صعب أو كذا، بس لا، حاولت إني أنظم وقتي وأشوف شو مثلا نقاط ضعفي. مثلا كانت عندي نقطة ضعف إن مثلا إذا التليفون صوبي إنه وأنا أدرس فكل مرة أيوده فشفت وين نقاط ضعفي اللي يمكن تأثر على مستواي الدراسي، فحطيت تليفوني يعني كل مثلا أحطه مثلا في اليوم مثلا بس استعملها ساعة، مو إنه مثلا يكون صوبي. فهي وايد أثر فيني صراحة. هاي أكثر شيء أتمنى فهمت عليك.
Thank you. Round of applause for Wafa. And just 2 lines of expert comment from Khalid Abdullah for her topic.
أتمنى إن أتعلم، يعني أنا قاعدة أحاول حاليا حتى في الإجازة إن أطور من المهارة اللغة الإنجليزية English language بس إن شاء الله يعني.
وفاء
Yes,
ترى
of course.
كلنا كنا مثلك كذي. يعني انا اول ما ابتديت، يعني اول ما خلصت ثانوي ودشيت الجامعه، حتى يوم خلصت الجامعه بعد لحد الحين كنت احس روحي ان للحين شويه الانجليزي يعني مو بماشي معي. بس ترى لين ابتديتي، يعني أنا ما بقول لك ان التوست ماستر هو حل حق كل شيء، اساسا بعد ما اكون يعني مثل ما يقولون، بس التوست ماستر بيعطيك على الاقل الدرب اول شيء. فانت تكتبين السبيتش مالك وبتين قدامنا ان شاء الله قريب على اول ما نسوي النادي ان شاء الله،
يا رب.
وبتين قدامنا وبتتكلمين عنه، انت بروحك بتحسين انه والله الموضوع سهل يعني.
أتمنى والله.
بالعكس ممتاز اللي سويتيه صراحه، ممتاز يعني. بالعكس غلبتيني انت. انا اول ما يعني حاولت اسوي تيبل توبكس ما قدرت اوصل للاشاره الخضراء يعني، فانت ما شاء الله وصلتي اشاره صفراء. مبروك يعني.
الله
يعطيك
يبارك
العافيه.
فيك والله. خلاص أنا إن شاء
Okay,
الله
well done.
بسجل فيه إن شاء الله.
باذن الله ان شاء
Well
الله.
done, Wafa. That's great. You're getting a lot of thumbs up and applause for that. And your secret is really safe with me because I didn't understand a word. I'm sorry. I need to, my bad, I need to learn some Arabic. But you have a very sweet voice, Wafa. Great going.
Thank you so much.
Let's go for the next topic. Someone had volunteered.
Yeah, Lameez Nasser.
Lameez Nasser. Lameez, would you like another topic or you want to go for the same topic? Come on, Lameez.
It's up to you.
What would you like to do? You want to go for the same topic because other topics also very simple.
She's thrown.
Would you
She's
like?
thrown you a challenge.
Okay. Yeah, actually, Lameez, come on. I think you can take a topic. Let me give you a topic right away. Okay. Yeah, just 1 second. Here is your topic.
Oh my God.
I know. Joker. Okay. That you have seen the movie Joker. So what do you think? Are they funny or are they dangerous? Lameez, over to you.
Okay. I think it's depend on the personality that inside the Joker, the circumstances that he go through it in his life, the violence or the problem in his life that I think made his personality, which is we see like a dangerous for other people. But if the people saw them from the other side and what he go through it, maybe they will change him to a positive side. Yeah, but if we see the Joker, we thought he is happy, but inside him is inside him is the opposite what we see. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, a round of applause for Lameez. Very well said. Absolutely. That they are all nice from inside. Excellent. Now, who would try the next topic?
I think Yusuf wanted to try the first topic he had messaged.
Want to try the first topic or you want a new one? Yusuf, come on, go for a new one. See how Lameez went for a new nice topic and she got a Joker.
Okay, let's see what is the topics because I prepared for the education. I took some notes, I got ready.
Oh, how sweet. I will definitely hear from you towards the end. Okay, so that's Gati. Yusuf, I will hear about you from the education. But right now, students, they are working so hard for some money. So let's play some money game now. Okay, so here we go with some money game. Farhaz, what happened? Eardrums ringing. Okay, now here is your money. So Yusuf, which do you want? $1, $10? or $20, 50, 70, 100? Take your deal or no deal.
70.
You want 70. Okay, let's see what you have up for 70. Sorry, no deal here. You get nothing out of it. Okay, so sorry, you lost all the money over here, but still, you have prepared on education. So you are going to speak on education. Yusuf, let's hear from you. Yusuf?
You're muted, Yusuf.
Yes,
Wait,
yes,
Alan.
I turned the camera on. I don't know why it is dark in the screen.
Over to you, Yusuf.
Yeah, so just to make sure the topic is why education is expensive.
Right.
Okay.
You have 2 minutes.
Okay, so in fact, it's not about why education is expensive. In fact, it's expensive when they are doing it in the private sector, not in the government sector. Because nowadays, the education and school system are there in generally for business. Simply, you go to it, you have a deal with them, you study, you graduate, you get a printed paper, use it in the CV, you get a job. That's how it works. So now the whole world is working like that. Why is the education expensive? Because in the schools, in the private sector, it's not only about a student going there. There is expense in the school. There's a principal, there's a management, there's a cost for electricity, cost for the land, for the buildings, for the teachers, and every teacher have a family, and that teacher need a house to stay and a place. So it's more complicated than just you're just going there to the school, sitting there and leaving. There's a lot of hidden things going inside the school in the management. And if you actually calculate it, you will find that it's actually the right calculation with some amount of profit, of course, because it's business after all. But but on the other hand, if it is on the government sector, it's totally different because they are investing in the teenagers who are the future of the country. So they can handle that expense. That's it. Thank you.
Excellent. I mean, actually, you wrote all this in such a short while. Kudos to you, Nasser. Very well done. Excellent, excellent. And a great insight. Teenagers are the future of the country, of the world, right? You're absolutely right. Let's have one more topic now. Who would like to go for it? Easy topic. Maher, Wael, Ali Muhammad, and I saw Anand and Sudha. Anand and Sudha, Toastmasters, would you like to try? And Panpa Larkar. The name is very, very catchy. Would you like to try? Panpa Larkar.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see you.
Sure, madam.
Okay, that's great.
He's a Toastmaster.
Yes?
That's why he jumped into it.
Okay, okay, Panpa Larkar. One second, let's see if some student would like to volunteer, and then I of course, you are there in the pipeline. Any student? Yasin, Muhammad Maher, Ali Muhammad, anyone, come on. Wael, Maher, is unmuted.
Me next, inshallah.
Okay, so Maher, would you like to speak?
Mahmoud Maher. Yes, sorry. Next,
Muhammad Maher. Mahmoud.
Yes. Next answer.
But you are
Maybe
written
I
Muhammad.
write Muhammad, yeah?
Yeah, I thought something wrong with my specs
Okay,
and I'm
sorry,
reading wrong spelling.
Mara. Okay, sorry.
No. Mahmoud Maher.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry, no, mistake.
Okay, so okay, come on. I'll give you an option. You want the wheel or you want the money?
What?
Which you
no,
want?
I say I'll talk next time, inshallah.
What you want to, which option you want? You want that wheel option or you want the money option?
He's saying
Where you want to choose from?
he will try it next time, he's saying.
He's not trying today?
No. Right, Mahmoud?
Okay.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Why you can try?
Yalla.
It's all easy.
No, okay, no problem. No.
You're trying now?
Yes.
I'll try now. Okay, no problem.
Awesome. You get out
Sorry, I can't turn on the camera because I speaker.
It's okay. No problem. You
for the exam.
Okay.
Great.
Right. No worries. Without the camera, you can just attend the topic. I'll give you the wheel. Okay. I'll have the student wheel for you. So let's share the wheel here. Why? Yeah. Ah, after you finish your education, this topic is later to be applied after that. To marry young or to marry late? What do you think?
I think to marry late.
You want to marry late?
Yes.
Okay, speak about it for 2 minutes. Why you want to marry late and why you don't want to marry early?
We in life, mate, like we travel, we buy something for me. Not for her, yeah, you know. I buy everything for me, traveling from village to village, from country to country, like this. Yes, it's better. When I
Okay.
married, I must buy for her and what also?
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
It's
I'm
interesting.
thinking. Yes, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Tell more. Very interesting. It's going on.
It's
We need to
okay,
hear.
marry what? Young, but you have to مسؤولية in English. I don't know what. Wait.
Responsibility.
Yes, responsibility. Yes, I have to respond.
That's nice. That's a round
Okay.
of applause.
Also,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Also what?
Also, it's not good for take a time with my friends going outside. My friends married like 25, like this small. I ask also my uncle. He said for me, don't married now, married after. Because me, I'm married now, and I be what like said, oh, now I have to do like this. I think married inshallah after.
Oh, that was a very, very honest confession that you have to marry late. And of course, you have to travel the world and experience all that. Otherwise, once you get married, the expense is double, for yourself as for your wife. So
It's
travel
okay,
single.
but the money, I want to travel alone with my friends only like this. Oh, when I take it, she will say, don't, no. I know that.
That's great. Wonderful reply. Wonderful. See, I'm glad that you attempted the topic and you actually
Thanks.
spoke for 2 minutes. You were worried
Thank
whether you
you.
can speak or you can't speak. So that is that the beauty of this platform is like, it takes it out of you when you see others speaking and even you start speaking and the topics are very, very simple. It's only a mental block which says that we cannot do it. But once you jump into it, it's anyone's cup of tea. We all can speak. We are born to speak, so we will speak. That's
Yeah.
great. Awesome. Now,
Thank you all.
yeah, I think we are. I can just take one more topic now because we will run late otherwise. Because Panpal Arkar, I had committed to you, so here you go. You can take the topic, and I will share the money once again with you. Yes, which would you like to take? 70 is gone. Which suitcase would you like? Panpalar.
I think this is Raja, right?
Ramesh, sir.
Ramesh, okay.
Okay. Ramesh, which you want 100?
Yeah,
100. Okay. Let's see what's the deal for you. Oh, you have an option, heaven or hell.
Always, my choice is heaven.
Hell. Oh, heaven. Okay.
Thank you. Favorite topic.
No. The topic is coming now.
Okay.
God consulted you to provide a design plan for heaven. What ideas do you bring to the table? Okay. God consulted. Yeah. You have seen the topic? All yours.
Yeah. So God is making me a planner. So I will tell God, please don't make hell or heaven outside of us. Please make it where we are living. So please make our current living situation, which is going like a hell because of the pandemic. So I request and I will make a good plan to God if He gives me the permission. So I will make a good plan to change our current environment to be a heaven by changing our attitude and our surroundings, environment, stable and positive. Thank you for the opportunity. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for Toastmaster Panpalarkar. A very unique name, I'll not forget it. With that, we come to the end of the segment. And
I think that's the name of his club, actually. Panpalarkar.
Yes.
Panpalarkar. Okay, nice name. Okay, that's good publicity. Yeah, now I would just, as Farhas said, that we have to leave with an effective closing. So I'll just leave you with two quotes. That is, don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. A quote by John Wooden. So don't ever think that you cannot speak. You can always speak, but you have to take the first step to go ahead with it. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. And your time starts now. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Bijal Karia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tabassum, for that amazing table topic session. I'm sure everyone enjoyed a lot and they have already started their journey. And we look forward them to be Toastmasters very soon. Now, as we are running late, without further ado, let me call upon our evaluator, DTM Alan Paul, to evaluate Toastmaster Arif Jafar's speech.
Thank you. Yes. Shall I start? Okay. Today, DTM reached, crashed the surface of our minds and unlocked our hearts with that mesmerizing speech with an amazing message. It captivated all of us. See, the first few seconds of any speech determines your interest in the speech. It is a way how we captivate the audience. And you all observed how she captivated all of us in that first few seconds by saying, stop, 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 think, and think before you act. She had a great hook. And also, did you observe how she was visually very nice to look at, because she had a great background. She had a well-lit face. There was enough lighting, and she used proper stage movements as well as vocal variety to convey the message to the audience. It was very well done. And regarding vocal variety, did you observe how she was even enacting some of the characters, like that guy in the car or Layla, her co-worker? Actually, I also loved how she went up to the extent of even imitating that guy in the car by saying, that was so funny. I really laughed a lot when you were imitating that. So when it comes to humor, you got to check, and you also completed your objectives. Very well done, DTM Arif. Now, just like how that scratch gave you a life lesson, I have a few scratches to give you that may improve your speech. So here it is. My first scratch, okay, or my first point of improvement is your message was revenge or good job, right? So instead of saying revenge or good job, instead of good job, what if you tell the same thing that you started at the beginning by saying revenge or stop, think before you act? I feel that message would have been better than revenge or good job. Second thing is, try to incorporate pauses, because pauses really have an impact with the audience. For example, when you are saying about this, taken a key and scratched it, pause before that. I took a key, pause for impact. And then I scratched the car. You see, that pause really adds that element of surprise. Again, when you're talking about Layla, when Layla was keeping on talking to you, that time you took the key and then you paused. Now people will be wondering what you're going to do, and then you didn't do anything. See, that pause really has a lot of impact. And third thing, as it is a humorous speech, exaggerate as much as possible. We don't need to know the full truth. You can always exaggerate. You can talk about that guy. If you want a little more, you can say that guy was driving a Hummer, and as he got out, it was a very small man on high heels. So something more vivid, something a little more exaggerations will really help. So I really loved how you had a hook, how you had a mesmerizing speech with a great message, and how you incorporated all the elements to deliver that message. Just work on your message, pauses, and exaggerations, because with this, you will not just be captivating us, you'll also be mesmerizing and telling everyone to stop, think, and act before they do anything harmful. With that, back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Alan Paul. That were really impactful scratches. Now we have the floor open for the Q&A session. If anyone would like to ask any questions. All the students, any questions? The floor is open for question and answers.
Okay, if there is no question, I will ask question.
DTM Faraz is scratching his head. We have a question from Yusuf. What could, just a second, Yusuf wants to know what could have I improved in my speech?
Great, let's use our evaluator to evaluate him. DTM Alan? He moved, maybe, he moved.
I'll take that answer.
Okay.
Yusuf? Yeah, Yusuf, well done. First of all, you were given a topic on the deal or no deal and you didn't get it. But luckily you were already prepared. So your plus point was you were a fast thinker. You took the topic and immediately you started taking notes on it. Second was your positive attitude that, once I gave the topic, you were like, okay, I'm ready with it and I'm ready to go with it. Now you spoke really well, but what was, of course, your content was really great. But as you know, Farhas has explained that your speech needs an opening body and a conclusion. So even for table topic, you have to see how impactful you can begin, what will be your body and how you will conclude it so that it stays in our memory. So everything was really good, but once you start joining Toastmaster, you will start focusing on the structure of your speech. So we always have this evaluation. That is why evaluation is important, is because, we all want to become from our good to better to best, and how to take a speech to that one step ahead. So all that I can say that you are almost there, you're great, and still mile to go.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Tabassum. Anyone else? Any more questions? You can raise your hand. You're most welcome, Yusuf.
While waiting, can we have just a group photo? I just want to...
For the group photo, I'd like to request everyone to switch on their videos.
Yes.
Please. It's okay, in whatever shape you are.
All right, so thumbs up with a smile. 3, 2. Okay, we're having Yusuf with us. Come on.
Yes, and Mahmoud as well, I think. No, okay,
yes.
Only Yusuf.
3, 2, 1. Cheese. Perfect.
I'm sorry, okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Mahmoud. No worries.
Thank you. So we assume there are no more questions. And can we wrap up then?
Khalid, would you like to say something? You were about to say something.
Yes, I was about to say that. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for everyone who joined here. And this is the beauty of virtual platform meetings. We have 2 from Kuwait, 1 from Sri Lanka, 3 from Kuwait. Oh, yes. Well, she's not around. Where is she? She's not counted. Okay. Well, 3 from Kuwait and many, of course, from Bahrain, We have as well a French among us, but she's in Kuwait. She's in Bahrain, but she's very silent. She doesn't like to talk a lot. We see you. Bonjour. Not bonjour. What's that? Okay, fine.
Botswana. Botswana.
Yes, forget about it. Great. So I think that everything went well, at least for my terms. We would definitely like to hear from you for feedback on how the meeting went. What's your expectation? Because very important to know the expectation before we move on from here. I assume your silence means that you are okay with everything that you've seen. I'm sure you would be having a little bit of questions. Maybe in a group setup, you might not have the opportunity to ask all of your questions and understand everything. So we understand. We would definitely not just have only this meeting. We would continue on having meetings until you grasp whatever you have seen so far. Now, the next step, let me just clarify where are we going with this. For the time being, we have an offer from Toastmasters International for clubs to be chartered in the coming months. And the best month to charter a club would be in March. We are 8 days away from March. The costs, imagine that, the cost if we charter a club in March would be 20 dinars per individual. If we wait until April, it will double. It would be 40 dinars. So let's all aim for March to charter the club. And to be able to charter the club, we would need to have at least, let's go for 20 members. We would need to have 20 members. It was really awesome to have 10 connected here today. And I can see also familiar faces who connected with us as well from last time. So I can see the interest is already there. And in the group itself, we see more faces jumping in from one day to the other. And kudos to DTM Zahra as well for all of her follow-ups. Now, this is what we need to do right now. We need to agree on the next step. The first, I know that we agreed to have our meetings on Wednesdays. Do I hear anything else other than Wednesdays? I'm not sure about the time. DTM Zahra, maybe is it 6, 7, around that time, right? As long as we agree.
Or 7 to 9. Yeah.
Okay. As long as we agreed on the first step, which is the date, then we need to build on that. And for those who would be interested to continue on that, we would definitely try to organize, arrange a payment as well, channel, because that's what we need to build on. Once you pay, then you are guaranteed to be enrolled in that. I wouldn't say it course, it's a lifelong lesson. That's the way I would put it. So that's where we would go from here. We would definitely communicate. I don't want to take longer than today. We were supposed to finish at 9. We would discuss this in the group. And for those who are interested, please approach DTM Zahra. She would be the point of contact for all of us. And let's make it happen. I think 20 members is very less. I think we have many from Polytechnic, Bahrain. How many do we have from Polytechnic?
From Poly, please.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up if you. Yes. See, I see many from Polytechnics. We have.
And AMA as well.
3 from Polytechnic. How many do we have from AMA?
Up to now 2. Maybe there are more, but what I know, only 2.
And Bahrain University? Me. Lamis from Bahrain University.
Mahmoud.
Okay. And Mahmoud. Great. So imagine me also, Mahmoud. Okay. Imagine that you are from different universities, and this is the beauty of this club, having many students from many different universities coming into one vision, which is becoming a better public speaker and leader. So this is the extent of the strength within this club. So let's expand on this. I'm sure in Polytechnics, there are more than, what's the number of students there in Polytechnics? More than 1,000? Hundreds? And we have only 3. And AMA, I know AMA, they have been more than I think Polytechnic, or I'm not sure about that. I don't really know the figures. But imagine if we just expand this and invite more of your friends to get to know more about Toastmasters and assess the situation, whether they want to continue or maybe they want to learn more about Toastmasters. I don't want to take long. Thank you so much all for being here. Special thanks to all of the role players, and over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, CGD, DTM Khalid Abdullah. Dreams are like stars. You may never touch them, but if you follow them, they will lead you to your destiny. And with that, we conclude our today's session. It was indeed a very informative and a fruitful as well as fun-filled session. I would like to thank our presenter, DTM Farhaz Farooq, speaker Toastmaster Ari Jafar, evaluator DTM Alan Paul, and our lovely table topic master Toastmaster Tabassum Ali, and our timer DTM Zahara and DTM Khalid Abdullah. With that, I'd like to give control to our Area 35 Director DTM Zahara Al Morak to adjourn the session.
Thank you so much, Bijal, and thank you all the role player. Yes, I have to say their names again. Alan, Tabassum, of course, our champion Farhaz, all of you, your champions. So Alan, Farhaz, Tabassum, Bijal, and of course our speaker Arij. I cannot forget our CGD DTM Khalid with all his support, and of course a special thanks to our audience, our future leaders. I would like just to encourage you, please share the posters with your friends, brothers and sisters if they are university students, and have a lovely night. Bye. If you have any question, you can contact me.
Bye. Good night, all.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye. Bye.